by your command.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Getting Down with Dave C. and my trusty companion, JT Kirk.
Hey,
How you doing?
I'm doing all right.
And we are
I was going to
live.
say I could be a sidekick, but I'm not short enough to be Mr. Little.
I almost said that twice now, and I was like, no, he's not a sidekick. He's a companion. He's my compadre, my co-host.
Sure.
My
all right. Well, hey, honored.
Yeah. Yes. And we are live.
Yeah,
right?
I know we caught a couple people off guard on that last week. Apologies. It wasn't what we wanted totally, but it was something we still wanted to have comics last week for everyone. So, did the best we could with the schedule we had. And I'm glad we did it.
Yes, I am, because it got out there and got a couple of hellos out of it. Some views. Thank you, as always. And I had to go back and read a little bit about this one. So a quick recap.
Go for it.
Old boy here, man. Mr. Little at it again, JT. And I think, how many issues do we have? 20 some? I'm just wondering when.
15?
15, 18? I can't. Oh, I'm thinking 20
Something
is
like that.
Battlestar Galactica. Yeah. That old Black Panther is going to kick the old boy to the curb one of these days, man. Because
and then get lonely and wish that he was back. I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
I have a hard time believing that.
He stole the water, right? He stole the water of life in front of all the samurai and then tried to make a run for it using Black Panther as cover. This is already after Black Panther wanted to kick his ass.
Right.
So here we go. So the recap is they try to get escape from the mountainside full of ancient samurai guys because they've been drinking the water, right? Water of life. But they don't make it. They get caught. So now we're like, dun, 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 what's going to happen? But first, and as always, what do you think of this cover? Scroll.
I like it. I like it. It's not number one for me.
Yeah, it's kind of generic in a way, but it also recaps a very, very big plot twist that Wakanda is going through a coup while the child is stuck trying to find the water of life.
Yeah. It also makes Wakanda look more primitive than what they show inside the comic in other issues.
Yeah, this outdoorsy thing is like out in a courtyard or something, but it doesn't show any big technology built buildings, something that you might see in modern day.
A barn in the background at best.
Yeah, barn or sure, whatever. Yeah, barn. You know, it doesn't. Hey, Classic Comics. Good to see you.
Hey.
Yeah. Good to see you popping in. We just started recap number 6 and just discussing the cover. Yeah, it's a pretty. It doesn't really show.
T'Challa looks good, but the rest of it doesn't really sell me.
Doesn't sell you on Wakanda, does it?
No.
And it's a little out of place too. But anyway, it doesn't really match.
This whole group of people supposed to be super advanced, but like the boys wearing a loincloth.
Yeah. I don't know. Well, the problem I have with it is it doesn't match the comic for this issue. Yeah. But okay, you'll see. I mean, it does go into Wakanda here. There's a little bit of a character reveal, Mr. Pearlhead thing here, right?
Sure.
And because you have not read this, as always, right? I always ask you. Just
That's
in case.
correct.
Have you?
That's correct.
Okay. You have not read it. Okay. All right, let's get right into it. and because I do like this one a little bit, or at least this top half, that they have dogged the track the mysteries of the lost city of Samurai, as it was called, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they try to escape because, like I said, old Little Abner, and that's his name, Abner Little. He stole the water. See him holding the jug there, and he's always got his pistol, like he wants to shoot somebody with it.
And
But
to our knowledge, he didn't drink it himself. Like, he
yeah,
didn't scoop a bit for himself and then fill this up.
I would have
An
thought he would have been
oversight.
swimming in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought he would have dunked his head into the fountain of youth because the guards had walked away. He hadn't been caught just yet. And it would have seemed to me that anybody, especially his nature, would have just started chugging that immediately
Right. Right.
and then filled up the cup or the bucket, whatever he's got there,
Mhm.
mason jar. But here's T'Challa. The splash pages. They don't make it out, and now the head samurai guy Shinzu. Yeah, they're pissed. They're pretty pissed off, wouldn't you say, JT? If somebody done that
Yeah,
to your
I would
place.
say so.
Yeah, and this is what they were up against. All these ancient samurai in full gear.
I misread that speech bubble incorrectly the first time.
Oh, that's not nice. Yeah.
Which made it way worse.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It's easy to do when you're just flipping through. I forgot that you don't get a delay on this one, right? You used to have a delay and be able to read before
I also have my
scroll.
side copy.
You have your side copy. Okay, cool. Yeah, well, people like to call Little Abner names, especially Zonda. A couple issues ago, she ripped into him about 6, 7 really nasty names. But I mean, he's used to it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But
I disagree with T'Challa here. I'm sorry, I do.
Yeah, I do.
A harmless victim of his own greed?
Yeah.
No.
No. But
that's like you saying people that knock off a CVS for $998 in California were just harmless victims in the whole thing.
Yeah, but T'Challa's a rather astute statesman and politician as well. He's a very good orator. And he's immediately recognized how bad things are going to go right here. Mm-hmm. He might even be surprised Shinzu hasn't said just grab him and, take him out. So what he's doing is trying his best to not get them both deleted.
Yeah.
So he has to use, is it vernacular, to appease this guy here, Shinzu, because he knows that they're highly moral based code, just like him, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he's trying to save their necks again. This guy calls him a gnat. The stole it. The gnat shall die.
Yeah, not the nicest.
Could have been worse. Santa called him a lot worse.
Yeah.
And of course the samurai chime in. Yes, Shinzu, you're the man. You tell it like you tell it. He's above. What does he say? Justice, it must be obeyed. And these are ancient samurai, so their codes are strict, very strict.
Right.
And he basically tells
you
Panther,
didn't have to go into their land either. I mean, you step in their territory, you play by their rules. It's kind of the game, right?
Yeah. Even though old girl is Xanda's has a nuclear warhead aimed at Wakanda, right?
True.
So she's using that as blackmailing Black Panther. But T'Challa actually outsmarts him here, and I thought it was pretty good writing. I had to read it again to see how he did it. So what Black Panther does here, JT and everybody, is he pulls out his nobility card, basically.
Mm-hmm.
He says, "Wait a second now, hold on." It kind of reminds me of like Bruce Campbell and the Army of Darkness, and he has to tell them, "Hold on a second here." But he said he calls Shinzu out on his own code. And then he tells him, he straight up, it's my word that commands here. And I was like, that's kind of an interesting take to tell that dude that your word is code here. So I didn't get it at first. Did you? I didn't get the angle. Not at first.
I think it's a weak play.
Yeah, it's maybe that's why
It's a really
I was
weak
confused.
play.
Yeah, so I didn't really get it down here until Shinsu says it himself. Well, explain it then, my man.
Yeah.
Go on, give it. Go on. You got you got like a couple seconds here. What you got?
King rules wherever he stands. No.
Not if you've watched 300. You bring the heads of my own people today, right? So he says, "Look,
or the Lion King, they rule everything the light touches, but not, the mastodon elephant graveyard."
Yeah, exactly.
It's silly. Like, when I don't know, you go back in history, if the King of France goes to visit the Queen of England, he's not the king ruling in England if he goes there to visit in the palace. Like, that just doesn't make any sense.
Right. It doesn't. And in 300, he even, they told him, Leonidas tells the guy, be careful what you say. And then that guy made the worst mistake ever of telling King Leonidas and his own king, Sparta, you pick your own words. Like, ooh, that's not going to go. That's right. Probably where this whole movie kicks off, right? The first time. And so T'Challa does that. So he's got the cojones here. He goes, he knows that I speak the truth. The king rules wherever he stands. And I'm thinking, that's not going to work well. But it did. And who but a true king dispense justice that settles. So basically, in a roundabout way, is what he's telling Shinzu is, since I am a king, I should punish this guy. I'm not so sure. Like, I agree with that. I kind of agree with you on it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And he claims diplomatic immunity.
That's only a thing if two countries have an agreement about diplomats and their conduct in your country.
Right. So his contract is based only on his, like, he whipped out the nobility card. Excuse me, hold on. Excuse me while I whip this out.
So, I mean, what? I could have walked into this place, asserted that I'm the Burger King, and gotten away with it. I mean, this is...
Yeah, and the robber, what was his name? McRiddler. He's a dunce, but he's my dunce. Yeah. But it works, and T'Challa does a really smart thing here, and he gets back at old little who's still pointing a gun. But he takes the water jug, and then he takes the gun, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he drops it, and you think it's going to splash. And then I was expecting little Abner to like drop on the floor and try to lick it up off the floor. That would have been funny. So Kirby missed the funny part there, like breaking the fourth wall. I think it would have been about an issue ago. We had a good laugh about that with the samurai. Some of the things that could have been done, but 40, 50 years later. But anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And as usual, he grabs his pistol and takes it away. So we're stuck here trying to figure out what T'Challa's up to. We kind of figure out what he's up to, but we got to figure out how this Shinzu guide is going to agree to any of this, right? Because we don't really think it's a great angle. So what do you think was going to happen next?
Well, I was hoping what would happen next is what I had hoped that they had done all along, which was get into this territory and then have T'Challa bargain off something that Wakanda has that the samurai would enjoy or need or value. And I'm thinking maybe a sharp, strong metal they could make a samurai sword out of. You know,
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah. How about a tray
just
for some vibranium?
yeah, you could have a really nice samurai sword made out of one of those.
Yeah.
Could have been
And
a nice gesture to bring one for the leader of the samurai here. You know,
yeah,
I
I
think
thought
water
he could
in
have.
trade for one of those in a limited time offer is worth it and could have saved you from all these antics. Hey,
Or he could have just given the admiral a really good hard backslap like we thought he was going to do in the helicopter and say,
yeah,
"Don't worry, Shinzu, I'm going to beat his ass when we get back." But
hmm
T'Challa's not going to do that, right? Unless he has to save him in immediate danger. But I would have liked to seen the jar break and Abner, like I said, trying to look it up off the floor or something, just to show you how grovelly he can really
yeah,
be. Because
right,
it's pretty much his fault most of the time now that they're in really bad danger.
hmm hmm
But Shinzu falls for the nobility card. He gives him the water back, and Shinzu's like, "All right, well that's cool." But Shinzu says exactly what I was thinking. He goes, "Well, we could have
yes,
just took it anyway."
right. So how that gets you anything? It doesn't.
It doesn't.
It doesn't.
Like I said, it's all that T'Challa pulled the nobility card and played to Shinzu's maybe his own ego for being king, or samurai, head of the samurai clan, right?
hmm
And he felt some kind of companionship to T'Challa, in that he just assumes that he's going to take care of it a little later. But he does tell him, "Get the hell out, get the hell out of here."
Right.
All right, I'm done with you. You can get the F out. Right? I'm done with
Right.
your crap. So I'm done. And that's exactly what he says. I didn't even read it. I read it before, but because I'm done with your loss, as
I
you
don't
demanded of me.
understand on the next one where he's saying, where one of the guards is saying, "Move, outsiders. Shinzu has chosen to be merciful, not polite." And
Classic
then
comics.
T'Challa
Sorry.
just says, he's a just man. That is enough. What?
Wait,
I don't know why
yeah,
he's saying that.
and classic says you shouldn't trust Abner anyway because he wears a monocle, for Christ's sake. Well, buddy, if you've been following these issues about this little guy here, oh, you know what? And we missed something very important. Let me show classics this and JT.
hmm
Read what this dude says to T'Challa here in this corner panel.
If you plan to talk us out of the water of immortality, I'll delete you. I'll delete you.
Wow, really? Now, I mean, Panther was
hmm
already pissed enough that he could have thrown him out of that helicopter on the way there because he was that mad at the guy. Now he's saving their ass again. And not only is he insulting T'Challa in front of Shinzu, who he's saving his ass from, he threatens to kill him in front of everybody. So,
Right.
classics. If you've been following along, this guy is a collector. He's sort of friends, but when it comes to this kind of stuff, he'll throw anybody under the bus. And I mean anybody.
Right.
So, I just wanted to go back for your sake and classic sake because I forgot to mention it, basically.
So their
And
most direct route is still a maze of corridors to a
well,
submarine pen.
I was trying to figure out how you came up. I was trying to figure out your side of it. No, I'm on your side. Sorry. I'm on your
Right.
side. This is a confusing thing. Shinzu's chosen to be merciful, not polite. I got that part. They're like, yeah,
Right.
F off. We're done. Get out of here. We're going to show you the door, show you how to get out. Now just move. We don't have to be nice about it. He is a just man. Oh, okay. I've got a few. Oh, okay. So I guess he's talking to this samurai dude saying, yeah, you don't have to be polite. He didn't kill us, so I'm good with it.
I,
Right?
this is a wasted panel.
It's a wasted panel. It doesn't make any
And
sense.
how many of these have we had? I can probably count them on my hand, on one
2 or
hand,
3.
right?
The Yeti fight, or no, it wasn't the Yeti fight. The second fight in the
The samurai, the
no,
first
the other
samurai.
one, Solomon, when he had to fight, he fought
Oh,
one,
yeah.
and then he fought another one. It's like, okay, don't need a second one. It's
This is a wasted panel.
yeah. Do you need something in that private chat, JT? Do I need to check it?
No,
Okay.
no.
All right. So, yeah. So did you like the submarine thing here?
Well, I'm just seeing this for the first time, but
Oh,
little perplexed why they're going to put them in a sub like this.
I'm just gonna answer something here in the
It-
chat.
They're fully automated. Hey, Buddy Hepburn. Good to see you, bud.
Yep. Hail to Buddy.
And so they're getting in these mini subs that are fully automated. It's like a ride at Disney World.
I
feel like.
I like so now, yeah. So the submarines seem kind of cool, and they do explain it. This is one of the things I do like about Kirby because I've gotten burned numerous times, except maybe once or twice, about saying something, and then the next panel it gets covered, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he does say that they're fully automated. One will take you to an area beyond this domain, and you're not to come back with it.
But see,
But
Dave,
it's kind of weird, right? Where did
this
they get the
is a
technology?
vulnerability. This is a huge vulnerability for them. And T'Challa even says this. So this is how the samurai keep in touch with quote unquote modern cultures. So now they gave away their secret sauce on how to get access to the base and how they get in and out. You should not do this. You should have taken him out the way that he came in. So that way,
kicked them out the front door.
Now this is a whole new attack vector that you've introduced to your enemy. You should have never told them that you have these subs. Never revealed it. Nothing.
Yeah. I was like, that's so odd that they would they would take them out of the super secret passageway, right? There's the front door.
Right.
They know about the front. And then I guess you could have given them I don't know, whatever kind of pack animal they needed, or you know what I mean, and send them on their way.
Right.
And escort them to the boundaries. But I think it was
Also,
just an excuse to draw. So.
Yeah, I think so. The sub is bigger on the inside than it is on the outside. If you scroll up a little bit, see how small that sub is?
Yeah, it's one of those mini subs. You can order one of these in the comics.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I remember that ad we looked at last year over Christmas. It the inner walls, like the thickness of the chamber on those is going to be so thick, he is not going to be able to stand up all the way in there, much less have these two upright seats with this elaborate control panel. It would be cramped.
Yeah,
like you're sitting or laying down in it. That's how all this stuff works. And
yeah,
like I said, bigger on the inside than the outside.
He's not a small guy, and his top left panel makes him look really short.
Right.
I mean, I would say, I wouldn't know. I'm just going to guess because he's got to be at least 6'4", 6'5", right? T'Challa?
Mm-hmm.
He's not a small guy to begin with. Plus, he's empowered with, we won't get into all the superpower stuff.
Not only that, but if you're supposed to be this ancient samurai culture, how do you have fully automated submarines?
Yeah, very, very technologically advanced submarines. We're not talking first time we made this crap on our own and we're going to take it out in the water. They've had them for a while.
Right.
So it's probably like Solomon's tomb that I was thinking of that had all that stuff in there. You just kind of throw it in there to push the plot along, I guess, right? And to draw some subs. And of course, T'Challa can drive it, right? He can drive anything. So we know he can drive anything that he can fly anything that flies, right?
Mm-hmm.
We've seen that. And they covered it, even though I complained. I was like, what the heck? They covered it on the next page. He can because he can. That's it. Right, JT?
Right.
But then we get back to our old routine of those guys. They're sniping at each other here. And this is the part that I do like. If you can't be reasonable, be silent. I'm just glad to be alive. You know? And he's pouting about how he's a collector and you don't understand. But T'Challa comes back at him. And read this part right here. I thought you might find this really interesting.
Yeah, the band of jackals you call collectors not deserves, jail instead of immortality. I'm glad our mission failed. Yeah. We'll pay dearly for it. Well, of course you will, because you have, nuclear weapons pointed at your kingdom if you don't come back with what you want. So, okay, be glad. Don't see where that gets you anywhere. Your I guess your morality or your ethics are intact, but that's about the only thing that will be soon.
T'Challa has an angle. It will be brought up later. I'm no spoiler alert.
Okay.
Because I know you're very smart and you think of all these things. And you did, again.
All right.
You caught it. You caught that. You caught it exactly how I planned it. And folks, we didn't talk about this. We literally had like 2 minutes to talk before we started.
Yeah, my mic wasn't even working right. Like, we were rushing to get on here.
Yeah, I was thinking I was going to have to start on my own for a while there.
Oh, hey, Dad Man.
Hey, Dad Man.
And happy belated to the missus.
Yeah, link your stream. You're doing a stream around 10, I think, right? So link you've got a wrench, so put it in there, and we can send people over there after we can. We're only doing one comic each week for now to give JT a break because he has life stuff.
I'm tired these days.
You have life stuff, dude.
Yeah. Well, that whole daylight saving thing didn't save anyone anything.
My biggest thing today was going to the dentist, trying to figure out which anime to watch, and drama on X. Which was not of my making. Was it, JT? No. But it will be. Well, never mind. Back to the comic. And
the Avengers, yes.
The Avengers. So I like this artwork of look at little Abner's face, because that's his damn name. It's Abner Little is his real name. But they call him Mr. Little. So that's what I say. You can see that he's pouty.
Yeah.
Right?
I can never get over how wide his mouth is.
Yeah, that's just
he doesn't really have cheeks.
A stature type thing. Because he is a small person as well. For real.
Yeah, but he doesn't have cheeks.
No, not in this. He has swooping goth pout hair.
Yeah.
But I like how he's just all mad because he's a little shit anyway, right, JT?
Right.
I mean, every time it comes around, he has helped in a couple times, but really it was to save his own ass. And he knew he had to have Black Panther help him anyway. But he's really not a good person either, to be honest. Sanda's the worst, but he's a pretty little evil shit. And I was a little disappointed about the sub because I had said that I thought this would be a good opportunity to draw. I'm going to be honest with you. This doesn't look like Kirby here.
No, I mean, I know whole issue.
But
I've not felt like it was really his work. It felt maybe rushed.
Art wise,
it felt lackluster.
Some of the writing I was a little lost on, and then some of them I do like him going back and forth. And T'Challa coming down on him. That's classic because that's how they've been going on at each other. Cool. There you go. Good job. All right, Dad, man. Awesome. Only because I said so, dude. You don't need my permission. You can always do that. And then it saves me from being embarrassed because I forgot. So, when is this over? I'm going, oh, so, okay, here we go. We talked about this before. You had mentioned this as well. We do get some speech boxes, which we always should read, especially from Kirby. And he pushes the action along. I knew you weren't really going to like any of these two right here, because the art it's not really Kirby-esque to me.
Yeah, on the right.
The right one's not good at all.
I'm trying to describe this in a way that keeps our show suitable for all audiences. It looks like the end of the digestive system at work.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think he might have been rushed here.
I think he was too rushed.
I think he's too rushed, because we know from Kirby, he was, who knows how many projects he was working on. We just don't even know at this point in time. But the journey continues through deep sea tunnels. So he did take the time to put the speech box. And this is why I'm saying, if you read these Kirby comics, don't skip these speech boxes, because it really helps you with a lot, especially the action scenes. He really gets into it, but it's a little weak here.
Buddy Hepburn. Yes, The Fantastic Voyage. Exactly.
Yeah. No, what's the other one, buddy? What's the other one? Can you name both of them? I know you can. If Buddy can, he can. He knows more. Him and Fanty know more about the Godzilla movies than I can ever even try to act like I did. What's the other movie? They get really small and go in, right?
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids?
Nope. The inside one goes inside the body. There's two of them. It's the lesser. Is that the lesser known one? I can't think of. See, I can't think of it. I was opening my.
You thinking like Inner Space?
Inner Space. That's
okay.
Ding, ding, ding. You get a prize.
Okay. I was like racking my brain. Which one are you thinking of?
Inner Space.
Okay. I remember Fantastic Voyage more.
Yeah. Yeah. Most people think of that one instead of Inner Space.
Yeah. I think Inner Space came after, because that was what, like 88, 87, something like that. And Fantastic Voyage was the 60s.
And yes, we get an Inner Space prop up here. Classics thinks it's an underrated movie. Yeah, it's fantastic. I think they're both good. It's just Inner Space always gets left out for some reason. I haven't even thought of those two movies in a long time. Wow. Okay, so
sure.
Black Panther, T'Challa has mentioned something again that he thought of before. And the only reason I'm bringing it up now is because of what I told you. No spoiler alert, but you were right about something. And you're a little bit confused as to why it was important that he didn't care about the water, right? Remember?
Right.
He was just so nonchalant, even though it was to save their asses. T'Challa wants to go home. He's done with these collectors. And folks, he does not like these collectors. He despises those people, the collectors. They're greedy. They get people hurt, killed, and all that kind of stuff. And they don't care. And one of them is threatening all of Wakanda with a nuclear weapon at this very moment.
Right.
And he goes off on him about, look, man, I've neglected my family and duty to go all over the world. I'm tired of getting called an outsider. I'm going home. And this time you think he really does mean it. And Abner's like, I won't help you. You're homesickness. And he takes a swipe at him. But you can see Kirby does this little close up with his eyes. This is why I say he really does kind of mean it now, right, JT?
Yes.
And I like the shading. There's still a little bit too much shading here to the right, but this close up is pretty good. That he doesn't overdo it, especially on his forehead.
Yeah, I think it's fine.
Yeah.
You
get the gist of it.
It's really oddly insulting. Homesickness will not change the facts. Your domain is rather small and remote. You're really an African provincial, my lad.
Yeah, he's talking down to him again.
Yeah,
again. I mean, he's taking really deep shots at T'Challa, and T'Challa's like, whatever, dude. I'm going home. F you. This is where I would
Yeah.
kick him out of the sub or shoot him out like in 20,000 fathoms or a voyage to the bottom of the sea.
Yeah.
Put him in the thing and shoot him out the bottom. We know T'Challa's never going to do that, but I can't help but think he hasn't thought of it more than a few times. So, folks, we get a flashback. Kind of go through this pretty quick because it's not.
Is it a flashback? I have no idea what this is.
It's a history lesson flashback. All right.
Where are you picking that up?
Okay, so if we go back here, T'Challa's thinking of home, right?
Yeah.
And he says, Abner is taking pop shots at him, but he's like, perhaps, but nowhere on earth have I found a history to compare with what springs from the beginnings of the Panther cult. So that's just a segue into a history lesson. And
yeah, I still don't get that from what that transition was. Maybe I'm being dense.
No, you'll just have to wait.
I don't get it. You've read it before, so you know.
I read it today.
What it is. Yeah.
Yes.
I have no idea what this is.
All right. So it's a history of vibranium. That vibranium, now, folks, don't hold me to lore here or canon, but this is their take on it. And what did it say? I saw Inner Space on TV a few weeks ago. I was trying to think of a Godzilla film when you mentioned that. You guys are awesome when we talk Godzilla. People ask me questions and they beat me into it. And I'm like, I got to think about that one. And it's already answered by Buddy, Phantom, and like 3 other people. Because I can't keep them straight. And I've never made any qualms about it. It's hard.
Right.
I have to go back and look at them. But but I love them all, especially my old school ones. So vibranium came from the sky there, JT. Remember the mound of vibranium that was mentioned before?
Yes.
Well, there you go.
Briefly.
There's your mound. Yeah. There's your mound. It landed in Wakanda. And Wakanda's, and now he's giving a lesson about they never doubt. Whoops, sorry, everybody. Moving this stuff too fast. Doubt that something fell from the sky and dug a large furrow in the land, and there's your mound. How they're going to make big chunks out of it, I'm not sure. When the mound had cooled, they mined it. Excuse me. And they even know it's a rare iron. Duh. But I guess it shows them here just hauling off big pieces of it. Right?
Yes.
And there's some kind of supernatural attachment to this too, everyone. That it was written that men turned into evil spirits and attacked their friends and neighbors. And I was a little bit confused, but you have to just wait a minute. I didn't understand how you could mine this stuff without already having the tools to break
just
chunks.
Kind of laying around.
Yeah.
They're more just picking up pieces.
Yes. Apparently. And we almost get a monitor scene, everybody. Oh, come on, Kirby.
Almost.
I'm like, oh, man. That would have made it an A. Right?
Right.
Sorry. And, of course, Abner's crapping on his own history lesson. You know, just... He's beginning to be really insufferable, right? At this point,
he sounds like a lefty professor here.
He's terrible, dear fellow. Every nation breeds it to keep its people united. Homegrown propaganda, and he's talking.
He sounds he sounds like a Marxist.
He
sounds like a Marxist.
Absolutely. And T'Challa is just the king who's got high morals and ethics. And saved him several times now.
Yes.
And he does call him. He says, tell me why that mound produces a metal found nowhere else. And where can you find the people who would dedicate their future to keep all men from the harmful effects of an alien infection? Dun, dun, dun. There you go. So he does. Again, he brings something up that's so weird. And then they explain it in a panel later. Right?
Right.
for the
But
most
the
part.
details of such things are not really detailed, at least not yet.
Not yet,
But
but
it looks like we're probably going to get it.
we are going to get something here because he bold faces future and harmful. But Abner not wasting any time to take another pop shot at his whole family.
Mm-hmm.
This guy's just begging for a good backhand, man. I've been waiting for it for like 2 issues now. But Abner says, "Oh yeah, we come to the profitable venture which your family created."
Right.
The Panther call, and he threw that in. That is a deep shot, man. You know, because of the money thing. They made a lot of money off of it. He's basically like, "Oh yeah, rich boy," you know what I mean? But Abner is rich himself, so I don't know what he's talking about there. He got rich about robbing graves, you know. So he has no room to talk. But anyway,
Exactly.
We get back to another little bit of a history lesson.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a pretty good one here. So this dude named Bashenga was the first Black Panther. All right. So this is cool. We get a really good history lesson. At least like who was number one? What's that guy?
Right.
And he formed a cult that would guard it against all intruders. So now we know that Wakanda, not that it only just had vibranium, they based everything built around the mound. JT. What do you think of that?
Yeah, I mean, it's a cool backstory. I'm just waiting for Disney to swap Bashenga. Right? Right?
If I had 10,000 followers, I'd say something and wouldn't mind losing about 1,000. You almost got me to say something, but nope. It's not nasty. It would have been funny considering the context.
But you know.
Yeah. Oh boy.
So, because it's a legend with
so
men
bad.
in it, Disney couldn't stand it. So
yeah.
You know.
And that's how it started, and through the years, as most people would have thought, wars and wars and wars.
If the family had profited, then why have they never been known to die in bed? I think he means elderly and die in bed.
Well, they fought with their boots on, right? They fought and died with their boots on. Basically, they never laid down, or they never got overran. They never lost a war, and their country was never taken. Although
I just thought it was, when they said this, they meant that they always had terrible sex, and so
yeah. Although what T'Challa doesn't know, and I mentioned it earlier, there's actual coup going on right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and his government is actually being overthrown, but from within. It's an internal coup, not a outside faction or whatever. And T'Challa just kind of reiterates, the whole thing's about vibranium. But here we go again. It can change men, the human structure. And you're like, wait a minute. You remember you touched on that before, right?
Yes.
We were trying to figure out what does he mean? We'll find out. And then Abner just talks about money again, throws it in his face, and currency too.
Mm-hmm.
So he's just, the guy's incessant, man. Just constantly shitting all over.
He has
T'Challa.
a very odd set of thought patterns, because now he's talking like he's the ultimate capitalist. In the last sentence, he was sounding like a Marxist.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think
his worldview is totally all over the place.
Yeah, because all he cares about is collecting stuff and being rich. So he doesn't give a damn which political stance he takes or who he craps all over. It doesn't matter to him as long as he gets out of where he's going, right?
Yep.
Because remember, he always has a plan. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
That was actually kind of foreshadowed.
Hail Phantom Outsider.
And there he is. What's up, Fanty?
The man, the myth, the legend.
Yep. Did I say hail to Buddy in the chat?
You did.
Well?
You did.
I'm going to do it
chat,
again.
I'm not sure, but
Buddy.
anyway, so he is going after T'Challa, saying, "I'm well aware that your metal is sold to research laboratories for astronomical prices."
Yep.
And then he's like, "Yeah, but you know, our research lab that handles stuff is of the highest caliber."
Have you not noticed some uncanny things that are in these words compared to what's going on today?
Yeah, I didn't
Every
say
now and
it.
then.
I think you anticipated I might have been searching
Yep.
for a way to insert some euphemisms
Oh no,
about
yeah, sure.
a research lab in a certain part of the world that totally highest caliber of research, and nothing bad ever leaked out.
No, not at
And they
all.
didn't totally get paid a ton of money by our government to do that.
Yeah. Weird,
Weird,
huh?
weird,
Very
odd,
weird.
strange.
So they pop up somewhere. We don't know. And the vessel's rising. Yay. Got there. And again, you can see how really small that sub is because Abner is not a big guy, right? He's
Right,
actually small.
right.
And they just talk a little bit. Grab my arm, blah, blah, blah. And Abner's talking, I'll come back with an army. Like, okay, whatever, dude. He's always talking trash.
Yeah.
And the sub self drives back
Mm-hmm.
as they were told it was going to do. And they were warned, don't come back. And they're like, all right. But now Abner's talking about how, the collectors are waiting for them to bring the water back, right? We can't forget that, everyone. That their
Yes.
whole mission was to get the water. They actually got a whole jar of it, but old boy screws it up by being greedy and tries to run off and trying to be more stealthy or something. He just tries to run away. Like, where is he going to go?
Right.
And he calls T'Challa a fool, threatens to kill him, all this other stuff going on. And the collectors are everywhere. And Princess and his men are probably combing the area. So my thing is time and distance and place. I don't know how far they went. You know what I mean? How far they got, where they got dropped off. You know what I mean, JT? Just
Yes.
So that's a little. I was like, could have given us just another speech box, and they landed so many miles from so and so or something. I don't know.
Right.
And they had to walk 50 miles or whatever. But back at Wakanda, we get the coup that's been going on. And this dude right here, the guy in the blue and the white, his name is Jakara. He's the one leading the coup, and he's T'Challa's half brother.
Mm-hmm.
Literally half brother, not because he's short either. I had to say it because I just remembered that he is kind of his whole beef was that he was picked on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was basically Scar in The Lion King.
He's Scar in Lion King. He's not Abner small. He's just not a big dude at all.
Yep.
So now we get back to the vibranium thing again. And this dude is purposely going to douse himself, or whatever you want to call it. And
he'll come into contact, and he does. And
full on.
He says, I'm experimenting, and only lesser men would be afraid of this power. So he's embracing this to increase his strength, is his goal. Typical arch-villain type way of thinking about it. And he's like, the legends don't scare me.
Buddy Hepburn. Yes, and you're right. That the guy in charge calls him a fool because he knows what's going to happen. And Buddy brought up the old nut shot that we were talking about last week.
Yeah.
And Buddy, last week we had an absolute blast. Of course, we recorded it on Monday, but where JT pointed out the fact that Kirby missed an excellent, hilarious scene where he could have punched that big dude right in the old cojones, and then he could have been like, "Oh," with the Scooby-Doo kind of face,
Right.
And he totally missed out on all of that. But yeah, he said Abner could, with his height, he could give a couple of jabs. And this guy is a fool because you would think he would know better, right, JT, to do a full-on exposure, right?
At
I
least
guess?
get a bunch of captives and start testing on them first.
Yeah,
I'm not
dude.
condoning doing that either, but I'm just saying that seems a little more wise,
I didn't
right? Than
think
you
of that.
being like patient zero.
God, you'd be a ruthless leader.
So,
I didn't even think of that. But no, his thing is, it don't scare me. And then you truly are a fool, dude, because you know all about Wakanda and the legends. He thinks they're just legends, but if it's just a legend, why are you even doing it? It's a little odd, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's a big ass mound. I mean,
Right.
it's still a big. How big was it when they first got there? Because who knows how much they've used and given away, right? I mean, I don't imagine a lot, but a big chunk, I would think.
True.
So, but now this guy is giving the old guy crap about legends, about how did such a believer in old tales rise to govern, but you're the one that's putting yourself next to all that because you think it's going to help you, right? It's a little odd, but and he's gonna just take over, right? He's just giving his speech there,
In
and
his
the old guy,
Star Wars Imperial
right?
officer suit. Yeah.
Yeah, and Phantom says vibranium absorbs the energy, and he's probably more concerned with others getting power. Yeah, he is, but you'll see why he was doing that. In Classic, Classic had said something, and I missed it. Sorry, I think it was something he made a crack about the submarines earlier. It's funny. So yeah, it's a little weird that he's giving the guy stuff. I'm not scared of the legends, so I'm just gonna do it anyway. Looks like he's got some old spurs on them boots too, right?
Right. Then the effect quickly fades.
Yeah, it didn't do much to him, right?
Yes.
Well, hold on to your beer there, because remember the purple guy on the cover?
Right.
That wasn't really you couldn't even tell it was a purple guy there. It was just a blob on the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
So the old guy's cursing this guy now.
I mean, cursed be the day that T'Challa's father took a second wife.
Oof.
Well, yes. Yes. That.
Yeah,
well,
he cursed him
anyway.
right to us, basically saying, "I wish you were never born," type of thing, right? And
Well,
he yelled, "Curse be
and
you,
he took,
the child
he took
of that
a second one, which, not always the best idea. I'll just say that.
Yeah, and you can see in the background here, though, Classic Kirby, he draws lines and stuff. He doesn't.
I
he-
wish
he's
they
not
could have picked a different name for him.
Yeah, it's not
Really?
particularly easy to read when you're out loud.
Mm-hmm.
So now we're gonna get that this stuff is coming back on him, and then he starts to. I don't know. It looks like he's just like burning up or something, right? The flare is returning. Yeah, they call it a flare, and it to finish its sinister work. He's like, "You lie," and I'm like,
Yep.
"For real,
He
dude?
was
Look at
talking.
yourself."
He was listening to Obama up there talk, and then he said, "You lie." Anyway,
That's great.
I don't know if everybody in the chat's old enough to remember when that happened, but
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
So
the legends are
well, the old
based
guy's
in
trying to tell
fact.
this guy's just not listening, though, is he? He
Right.
just. So I don't get it. He's like, "Oh, I'm not scared of everything. I'm going to do this," and then he's calling the old man a liar. So I don't. I guess it's just to promote the fact this guy's an idiot, right?
Yes.
I guess because he is, to go full on dousing yourself with the. I think he's going to try to turn into the Hulk or something here, right?
Right.
And says you've unleashed more the terror that was seen in ancient days. I'm like, damn, that's cutting deep. I mean, how bad is this going to get? I was actually kind of intrigued. I was like, all right, let's see what you got, right? I mean, this is the way you want to go with this. Let's find out. So,
fan of Outsider. Yeah. Thank you. Then in Guardians of the Galaxy fashion, they start playing Changin'.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do any more than that for copyright reasons, but
no. Well, they won't recognize it if I sing it, so it's all good. Buddy and Phantom, they're classics. They're lighting it up in there. Funny, dude. So we get the purple, and like a maddened animal, the car rushes from the room. And the old guy's like, let me go. There's work to do. And even the henchmen are like, this was funny to me because I'm a henchman guy, right? I love when the henchmen.
You're like, this is funny because I'm a henchman myself.
Yeah.
That's my day job. I'm
going to call you henchman 0.
It's on my Dave C's LinkedIn, folks. It says henchman 2011 to present.
I'm a Venture Brothers guys, a hench for life.
Senior henchman.
I hench for no man. That's from Venture Brothers. Henchman 0. But anyway, sorry. But even the hench guy is like, oh, snap. What's up with that?
Classic comments. Oh, geez. You read his thing and then look up at the pink right there.
Oh, that happened on the flight, dude. I had to...
Diarrhea is like a storm raging inside you that you just look up at it, running out of the room.
That's great. Wow.
You broke me, dude.
You had me at a low.
Oh, you're turning into me to like how Nick Weiser was last night. Oh, crap.
Oh, that was funny, man. Yeah, I mean, it's like even the henchmen are like, what's up with that?
Yeah.
So I can't think of the old elder guy's name, but he gets real serious here, dude. So I know we're laughing, but this dude turns to him and says, the people must be warned to avoid all contact. He's the carrier of a grave infection. You're like, whoa, all right. So now he's just running around with whatever he's got going on.
He's supposed to have a grave infection. Don't these hench people and the old man have the infection?
You would think so.
Okay.
Although, but briefly having contact with him, there is a little distance here. Like he might have ran down the hallway a little bit, and they're kind of there in the back. But they've been exposed at least a wee bit. Although the henchmen they're in henchman suits, but they don't have like masks or anything, right? Like shields.
Yeah.
And
masks,
so here we go.
Masks were just there for theater. Don't worry.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to get you canceled here, I guess. That's unintentionally.
I don't think I'm too worried about it.
Anyway, so sound the traditional drums.
Yeah.
I guess instead of the jazz drums or the rock and roll drums, we're going with the traditional drums.
Yeah, because the regular red alert drums aren't good enough.
Right.
Go to the other drum, not that one. Run all the way over there, dumbass. It's Dumas.
Yeah.
All right. So he gives like a little side note here, and he's just kind of talking about I have to locate T'Challa.
Hey to FKHC 2005. Tim's back. And J-Man just strolling through. I want to say hey to J-Man.
What's up, guys? Yep.
We're getting a crew filing in.
Yeah, if I can type, I can get this quicker. Why won't it put in J-Man? There it is. There we go. All right. Hey.
So then the old man says when the guards left, they can really only solve this with the Panthers, the ruling Panthers.
Yeah, basically, and he needs to find T'Challa, and you're like, yeah, I mean, he's off away somewhere, so you got to handle it, dude. you know.
And also, traditional drums are going
Oops.
to have like an animal hide on them. You can't just leave them silent for centuries. But
Yeah.
anyway, whatever, Kirby.
I,
We got you, I
yeah.
guess.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because they haven't used
Yep.
them for centuries, so um, let's just go dig them up and dust them off.
Hmm.
As you know, because nobody notices is this guy just running around with big purple flame bubbles coming off of him.
Right.
Anywho, meanwhile, right back at band camp,
Yes.
we've get now. Where did they get the copter?
This Osprey, I don't know. The USMC have an extra one.
I I'm I just what did I
That's what it
miss?
looks like,
Everybody,
right?
where? Yeah, like a weird osprey. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's got the landing gear like the that one Viper did that Starbuck flew. Remember in space with
Yes.
the rubber wheels.
Yes. Yeah.
Anyway, that was kind of a fun couple of issues there. But back to this one, I this is what I meant earlier about where were they? How far did they have to go? Apparently, they were so far away. They wound up going somewhere to get this crazy ass kind of copter thing,
Right.
and they got somebody to fly them there with no explanation whatsoever. That was a little weird. They just show up in a helicopter.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
okay,
Also,
jet copter. Sorry.
nobody contacted them mid-flight.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
What did they say? That there is animals will encounter 60% synthetic. Oh, all right. So yeah, unexplainable. They find the copper. Who cares? Let's go. All right, we'll just move on.
Yep.
So
Yep.
and it would have been funny that if Chitala would have tried to like trade him for a helicopter and then throw him in the back of the copter at the last second. I don't know. I just missed out on some funny stuff there. But these are the collectors, everybody, and they're a bunch of douchebags. Just to let you know, that's Sanda, the English guy, right?
Yes.
The old cranky dude, and I forget what this guy is. Is he the European?
He's like the
Zemo type of guy?
Romanian.
Yeah, dictator type guy, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Or just a rich dude. I shouldn't say dictator because he's not that, because I just don't know. He's just some rich a-hole from like Eastern Europe
Yes.
bloc country or
Yes.
something.
Yes.
And of course, the old man's being grouchy. He's complaining. That's kind of funny, to be honest with you. Does it take him all day to land it? Because everybody, he's waiting for the water, right?
It's kind of
let's
his
lose
last
track.
chance. Yeah.
This is his last chance, and they're waiting on the water of life, which they think they have. And the English guy says something. I understand the Black Panther was taken without a struggle. And JT, how would he have even known that?
Oh no, he was taken without a struggle to go do their bidding as one of their prodigal pigeons.
Ah, well, that's what happens when
Yeah,
points a
because he
nuclear
says he was
weapon.
taken without struggle, and he has a silly fondness for Mr. Little. When they threatened to blow him up, he folded. That's not really true.
No,
That's not really true at all.
not why he
You
did.
pointed a giant nuke at his kingdom and said, "Do what I say."
Yeah, that's exactly
That's why
what
I'm
happened.
wondering if that's supposed to be a joke or if Kirby messed up.
Yeah, he's just trying to make a joke and it just didn't fit. He kind of, because he says, I wanted to blow up the flea with a grenade. So that, that's Xanda there. This is her place. And so I think you're right. It was just meant to be a joke. It just didn't
I hope
fit.
so. It didn't land. It didn't land.
And before they even get barely
Speaking
on
of
the
landing.
ground, yeah, they barely have the door open. They're surrounded by more henchmen in different uniforms with red guns this time.
I believe the correct term is persons of hench.
Henchites. Oh boy, I was gonna say something else, but nope.
Yeah, never
I'm
mind.
gonna
We'll get in
pass.
trouble. We'll get in trouble.
Yeah,
Don't stand there gaping at us. Speak.
yeah. They
And
can't. They
then
can't wait.
sniveling, of course. Well done. Playing to the character. And
Yeah. Well,
then,
yeah. The stiveling part is funny because this is where Kirby is good at writing. Because if you notice, Littles goes, well, you see, we had a. It's kind of difficult to explain. You know what I'm getting at? I
yes.
like that. I like when he
Yes.
writes like that. And Panther just straight up says it. We don't have the damn one,
This
right?
next one, folks, uh, that's a crime right there. I'm just going to say that straight up. Doesn't matter if you're doing it on Black Panther. That's a crime.
Yeah, yeah. I told you guys, and most of the people are following, that these are not good people
No.
at all. And she just slaps him. And now, but look what Little says. You know? But he told the truth, so he's actually defending T'Challa here? Wow, where did that come from? You know? Because it was funny when Little was trying to not tell them what's up, and Panther just tells him to the face, we don't have it. We don't have the water, man. We had to give it up to live, right?
Yep.
But Panther didn't take that too well, but he doesn't physically retaliate, right? You wouldn't see that in the comic unless she was like some monster or something, trying to kill him.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't hit her back, so to speak. But what he does say is, you guys are devious. You wouldn't know the truth if you heard it. What did I say earlier about how weird the dialogue is compared to some days today?
Yeah.
It's really prevalent in this issue. But anyway, the old guy he's still make him talk. He's always like trying to promote violence on Black Panther.
It's like a weird, yeah. Oh, it's weird. He's into that.
Ooh. Yeah, he said some really crazy stuff on a different issue about there's ways that we can get information out of him. Remember that one?
Look who walked in.
Yeah,
RT and said, "Hey, great to see you, bud."
Yeah, dude. We were talking rugby. If you guys don't know, that's my Welsh rugby buddy there. And Ireland got their ass kicked by France. I mean, Ireland probably played the worst half of rugby I had seen in a long time. And so for RT and Z, Scotland has to beat France, and Ireland has to win by a bunch of points, so England doesn't come in first. It's a weird tournament.
I think they're all motivated. All those countries are, have just loved England historically, right?
Yeah. Well, the finals are this weekend. Everybody, all 3 games, and so I don't know if I'll make late night Fortnite again because I'm not sure what time the first game is, but it's 3 games in a row. And if Ireland and England win their games, then everybody has to root. If they want to win the tournament, they have to root for Scotland to beat France. Period. But anyway.
Yeah, Phantom Mouse brings up
up
a good point. There's no way she should be able to even touch him.
Yeah.
So did he let it happen? Is he into weird things? I don't know.
The way he's drawn, it looks like he's completely caught off guard. Like he didn't expect it at all. But even with his reflexes, this guy can dodge
head on.
Yeah. Yeah, he dodges arrows and samurai sword swings. So either like he let it happen, or he truly 100% was not expecting that. Right. And she keeps going on, don't test my patience. And he would have been like, yeah, you're testing mine. I was going to say it, but
yeah.
You feel it. If it was a modern day comic, he would have said it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You're testing mine.
Yeah, anyway, so she's like, I haven't backed down. Look. And he's like, yeah, I still see that huge ass missile ready to
All
be
right, now,
fired.
JT, here's your moment. Remember what we talked about earlier? You pointed it out. Why would he not care about that water, even though it saved their lives? He didn't really agree with Little on it. He had something up. He had an angle,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And this is his angle. If you want to read it or you want me to.
Well, he was saying he's too shrewd to give the order.
Yeah. He
You'd
never,
you'd have to step down,
yeah,
so you
he
can't use it.
you can't use it anyway. He came to realize that, and I think you might have touched on that, or I might have said something. It's overplaying her hand too much, right? This is a world stage. We know she is in an emirate, right? An oil-rich emirate,
Yes.
right? If we got that correct from last issue as
Yep.
well. So basically, she's not going to start a world war, and he called her out on it. And he says it. It's just a bluff to intimidate me. But it worked. It worked at first, right? Because he went along with it. I guess he didn't want to test her being mad, so he went on the mission anyway. Or we'd have to have a different comic, right?
RT and Zed says, "Whoa, Richard Nixon with a goatee in this comic."
Yeah, yeah. And these characters are funny. I mean, they're mean.
Yeah.
They're nasty, nasty people, but they're funny in a way. The old guy's hilarious.
And the British guy back there is saying there are other ways to loosen the tongue. And
Yeah.
then here we go. This dude with the cane, I think, is going to be into torture. I just, the way
Oh yeah.
he talks.
He's always been talking like that. He's definitely into torture. You definitely, I mean, you don't want him drinking any of this water, right?
Right.
You want him to just
Right.
move along. You know what I
Yes.
mean?
Yes.
Exactly what I mean. Probably better off for the whole world if he just moved along.
Right.
But I can't see as the other three being any better. Just not as bad as the old guy. But dun dun dun, plot twist. Old boy had an extra little vial of water in his pocket, man.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
But they still missed out on the fact they didn't show him just gulping big heaping globs of it while he had the chance,
Mm-hmm.
which is what I would have done. Right? Wouldn't you, JT?
Right.
If you're standing right next to it, I'm dunking my head in it. So I guess I was a little confused. They're just going to torture him or something to see if he's lying about the water
Yeah.
before Abner pulled it out, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Not 100% sure what they want to get out of him.
Phantom. Phantom's rewriting whole movies here, man. Love it. Yeah, I guess it's just a little segue into the fact that he had it. So
Mhm.
he wrote it as, we're going to just torture these guys until they tell us the truth because they don't believe him. And Abner's like, nope, I got some.
They kind of
He
just toss it into the group of jackals here.
Well, funny you should say that.
Mhm.
Because they didn't even give
That's
him
what
time
happens.
to. Well, they didn't even give him time to throw it.
Yeah.
So when you say a bunch of jackals, you weren't wrong. He ripped right into him before he could even do anything. And he's like, no, I'm the oldest. Give it to me. And the other one's like, yeah, no, I want it. And Panther's like, and they're like animals.
Yeah. Oh, he knows. He's aware.
And while the henchmen are with their funny little fez hats are distracted.
What would have been a funnier reveal, I
Yeah.
think, instead of doing it here, a funnier reveal would have been for them to be on the sub. And and T'Challa would say to him like, "So where's the vial?"
Ah, yeah,
And just
knowing
have
that,
T'Challa know that this guy is devious, and
yeah.
he's hung out with Little long enough to know that there's like some kind of backup, and start catching on to him over
Oh yeah,
time. I
yeah,
thought that would have been a fun way to do it too. I mean, it's not bad the way they
absolutely.
did it here. I think it just would have been funnier or more entertaining if they had done that on the sub.
Yeah, and it
But
would
hey,
have stuck to the lore of Panther and him always acting like that way toward each other, right?
right,
Always biting at each other, and
right.
quipping at each other. Other than the one time where the map was missing or something, that I think that was just a faux pas. That would have been excellent because
Hmm.
he always has something up his sleeve, right? Remember the frog and the other map that he had, the first map, and then this here. So yeah, that's an excellent take, dude.
Right.
Well, T'Challa sucker punches these guys, them and their little red guns and red fuzzy hats and matching boots. One of those Versace or those Gucci's. Anyway, I don't know shoes. I don't know. I know.
Crack.
I know.
I just
Maybe Kenneth Coles.
he really twisted at the hips to
he,
get into that.
he, he jacks these guys
Like,
up from
wow.
behind, dude. Pow. Oh, it actually says pow. That's right.
It does.
I mean, he hits this one dude so hard,
He got
his head
all
goes
of
all the
that.
way forward. Yeah. Into the
Yeah.
ground. And I'm thinking, damn, dude. I mean, he usually doesn't go all out like that against people that he's not, I mean, he wants to knock them out, but it's not really a fair fight. As you all know, T'Challa's like that. But he
Right.
didn't give a damn on this one, dude.
Right. Right.
I'll take care of your problem. Ow.
So the what in blazes?
Oh, wait.
He
Good night,
throws.
RTNCZ.
Oh,
Sorry,
yeah.
RTNZ. Thanks for popping in, man. And I might live stream one of those games, but I'm going to be an absolute mess because the Ireland game is first, and then I have to wait for the France game, right? So stressful day for me on Saturday. But maybe I'll do a stream where I just make comments or something. All right. Thanks for coming by. I always appreciate it.
You
All
can
right.
handle this one too. Take the vial. So he tosses it to him like he's going to get tackled in a game of football, and he's going to do a backward pass.
Well, it's like a Charlie Chaplin, Buster Keaton, Keystone Cops episode going on here. You've got
Almost, yeah.
four of these bad guys. Okay, take the old guy out. I'm sure Abner can take him, right? In a
Right,
fist fight,
right.
right? But the British dude, the other guy, and Zonda is a big person. She's not small. She's taller
Yeah.
than T'Challa, right?
Right.
And he managed to squeeze out and throw the vial up. I think it's great because that's what you call comic forwarding, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That so Panthers can either have to beat up these other people to get them off, but this is an easy, kind of funny way out. And then it was kind of an interesting little cute, I guess you call it cute, JT, what he says here.
Send me a postcard.
Yeah, start running,
He's
Panther.
kind of sighing. I think he's saying it. Start running, Panther. It's you they'll be after now. Send me a postcard when you get home.
So if you go back to where
Like it
Xanda
slipped
slapped
through
him,
his fingers.
yeah, he defended T'Challa after threatening to kill him just a couple pages before, and he goes, no, he was telling the truth. So I think maybe do you think, JT, or anybody in the chat, that Abner is going to come around and be more nice to T'Challa?
Nah.
If they stay together, this might be the end of it. I don't know. The partnership here.
I think he'll still be a moron, short-sighted moron.
Yeah.
When it comes to that kind of stuff. Yeah.
And yeah, so all four of these jackasses make the mistake of trying to tackle him. And although I did say they're big people, they are. But you've got the little old guy that's nothing. Not even hitting him with the cane. The English guy's big, but he's older. He's got one leg. The other guy's in front. This isn't going to go well for them, is it?
Right.
Right? I mean, what did you think? I mean, the art is pretty good here, though, I thought, right? Because there's a lot. You got all these characters.
A lot going on.
It's kind of funny because I thought he was crotch going to hit Panther in the crotch.
I don't know
there's your nut. There's
how
your
the guy
nut
on
shot,
the bottom
Fanty.
could even be holding on.
Right. So they, who was it, Fanty that said the other, or is it Buddy wanted the crotch shot? I mean, they missed out on another one
with the cane right there.
Well, yeah, Panther looked down and said,
Bam.
"Oh no, you didn't."
He says, "I never play a card until my hand is called."
Yeah,
a special kind of card, the one that makes Wakanda great again.
Yeah, and
he's going to use that card.
There's one thing that I didn't notice at first. I knew it in the next panel or two, but I didn't notice it until just now because there's a lot of action figures here. People, T'Challa, look what T'Challa's holding in his other hand.
Yeah, one of the pew-pews from the guards.
And now we know he does not deal with those. He will throw those things away in a second, will he not?
Mm-hmm.
Or smash them or use them. He'll use them to hit somebody. I think he might ever throw them. So this was quite interesting. And he's got his finger on the trigger.
Yes.
No, people, there's no gun safety in these comics. Come on. What is going on here?
Right.
Do not do that.
Yeah, his finger is inside the trigger guard.
Do not do that. Clip it.
And he doesn't even, he's not even looking. His finger's inside the guard, and he's not even looking to where the barrel's pointed.
Yeah. And as I had predicted,
that's breaking at least 3 rules of gun safety, right?
That's actually kind of all of them.
Yeah.
It's actually all of them for the most part, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's finally getting irritated now, man. And before I'd seen this page, I was like, okay, he's got to snap sooner or later.
He yeets them off of him.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's nothing to him. These people here, yeah, he's not as strong. The Eastern European guy is strong, but they're just normal people, regular. Well, she's not normal, but she's, yeah, he just kicks him off like it's nothing, which is, he's got superpowers for the most part.
She's got weird hands.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're like not real people hands. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like he didn't finish drawing them or something.
Yeah. Yeah, I do like the fact that he just throws them off. It's just like, be gone. That's kind of cool, right? Because that's what I wanted to see. That's why I'm kind of harping on it. That was exactly what I had wanted to see before I got to it. He's like, man, he better just throw these people off like they don't even, you know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, that's what you would have expected, right, JT?
Yes.
I mean, if he got mad about it.
Right.
But then we get some stormtrooper shooting. The Henchites in their fuzzy little hats start just shooting away, man. Just blast it. And they only hit one thing.
The vial.
The vial. Right?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know about that one. I would have liked to see him like, here, this is for you, Snow Dub. Tuck and roll, brother. Just shout out to Snow Dub, everybody. Go check him out. He's hilarious. And whether you like puppets or not, that dude's funny. But that shot broke the vial. And you're like, oh, come on, man. Right, JT?
Yes.
I thought he could have tucked and rolled and something. But we've seen this before, right? Shooting stuff out of people's hands, but it doesn't hurt anybody because it's the comics, right? You do get the shooting.
I hope his eyes were closed because that glass, man.
Well, remember, Kirby loves to do particles, right? See all the pieces of the vial? He's really good with that. And look back here to the left. There's a plant. Have we seen that before? Right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
He loves to put plants in the background. It's great. He's when he's on, he'll do things. So you notice the henchman running up behind T'Challa here to the
Yeah.
left, and then a shadow of another one in the background. He didn't have to draw that. You know what I mean?
Right.
But he did because he's really on point for a couple of these. Like you said, it didn't seem like it was really on point at the beginning of this comic. But now the action scenes, it seems like he's doing a lot better here. And he forearm elbow smashes this dude, man. Wow. He cracks this guy. He hits one with the gun, right?
Yes.
To the left. And then this one right here to the right just elbow smashes this dude. And you can feel it, man. The guy's face, the fuzzy hat flies off. So I like that. And then we get another good action scene. And we finally see T'Challa shooting a weapon, JT. Wow. I haven't seen that yet.
And yeah, I don't like this at all. One,
Yeah.
I don't like him shooting when he's not about using guns.
Yep.
Two, exploding fuel drums. If you shoot a drum of oil, it's going to leak oil. It's not going to explode.
Yeah. And Fanti, that's we call that. Yeah, obviously you know more about comics than we do, but we've noticed, JT and I have noticed that in a few of these, that they don't take license as to which way the bullet goes if it hits what they want it to hit, like shooting stuff out of people's hands, shooting above people's heads, and without any regard to background or people or anything else.
Right.
And we've seen it many times, but you just have to deal with it, right? But I'm going to stick with you on this, JT.
Yeah, the only way this could actually explode is if the barrel was nearly empty, but had a sufficiently mixed air and fuel mixture in the barrel for it to reach an explosion. Otherwise, it's just going to either leak fuel or it's going to burn at the size of the bullet hole, out of the bullet hole.
Yeah,
maybe, because it's got to be at the right angle to feed oxygen into that. This is lazy. I'm sorry. I don't like this.
Even with the speech box, right? Because Kirby, he does do well when he's being objectifying the action. The Black Panther lunges ahead, creating chaos in his path. You know what I'm saying? I like that,
Right.
but I don't like him shooting. I guess the only defense would be that he didn't shoot anybody, but blowing up the whole airfield like that seems a little much for him. More like he would have thrown it, and then the henchman would have dropped something that caught it on fire, right?
Maybe
to keep him out of that particular angle of having to shoot those barrels himself, right?
Right.
Because he goes immediately back to just throwing punches.
Right.
Which is what he does, right? This is exactly what we're talking about.
He gets on the aircraft, of course, fighting his way. They have stormtrooper level aim. All these guys do.
They have zero aim. They don't even graze him. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know who he's talking to here either.
He's talking to them. He's this is one of the things, like when he's fighting, especially Abner and them, they love to talk to each other, and he loves to talk crap to the bad guys. He's actually talking to them the whole time. Sorry, but I got to catch this fight. You can't come in. We're filled to capacity.
It's also, I can't tell if the bullets are coming from behind, from left to right, or right to left.
Oh,
you could see it go either way, couldn't you? I do.
I can't tell which side they're on. You're right.
Right. That's why it's confusing.
And Fanti did say, unless that was an energy-based weapon.
Yeah, but they're not.
Yeah, I would.
They're not.
Yeah, it looks like it has a magazine in it, right?
Mm-hmm.
A clip.
No.
People get
No,
mad so
that is
mad
a
at me for saying
magazine.
it. I know. I just said it. Yeah, if it had
You're
been,
gonna
it
get
would
me.
made more sense if he had grabbed like a laser weapon, right?
Yes.
And then it could have exploded. But so this dialogue here from him is just Kirby being funny, just talking trash to the bad guys.
Mhm.
Not guys, light's full. Sorry. And then, like we said, they don't even graze him. But
So
as we know, he can fly anything.
they have nothing to take this down, this aircraft.
Nope.
And it's too small for them to possibly aim and fire at it as well. You know.
Yeah, and he's just kidding away, but he's leaving without Mr. Little, isn't he? Is this the end of Mr. Little, everybody? Don't know. I haven't read 8 yet. So T'Challa's thinking, my guess is that Xanda won't waste any missiles to bring me down. That would be because Kirby knew you and I were going to do this review in 2025 and say, why doesn't she just shoot his ass down? So
Right.
he knew that was going to happen, JT. And he knew we had very smart people in the chat. So he had
On
to
both
put that in
sides.
there.
Yeah.
Right? You see that?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Kirby was smart. He knew we were going to do this.
Yeah.
So he's referring to the collectors are a cold lot. That's not what I'd call them, but he's just being nice. Hearts are warmer at home. Oh, that's where a man belongs. Oh. Unless you come home and you catch, but okay, never mind. But
Yep.
anyway, and then you're singing the red eye hours at the lounge, you know, not even Vegas, in Reno at 3:00 in the morning to two passed out people.
Right.
Anyway.
Okay. One of the ruling Panthers has come. Good. We'll need a strong hand at the helm until T'Challa returns.
I thought, who's this old guru then? I don't know. I don't understand his role. I guess
Some guy. He said he was on. He was on either medical duty or he was on a medical profile.
Oh.
Who knows? In a nearby village, when I heard the drums.
Yeah, because they don't have any way of contacting each other in this city where they fly jetcopters around. Wakanda doesn't have a cell phone.
Of course.
Okay. It's just, that was weird, right?
Yes.
They don't have a car. Yeah, it's so weird that they have those kind of, subs. The samurai have subs, self-driving subs, but Wakanda doesn't have a cell phone.
Right.
Anywho, guys, because we're at the end of the thing here, obviously. You want to finish with this guy?
Sure. So I prefer to think that he was on a medical profile because it's funnier that way.
Yeah. Look at that haircut. Come on, man.
It seems that Terra has come among us. That is so, but perhaps it is best to wait until the rest of the family arrives. And then we get to see this dude. Joshua Tobo is young, but he is ready to do what must be done.
He's talking to himself third person.
Third
Is that
person.
what that means?
Yes. Yes.
We're like, oh, great. All right. Next. Good times,
bad. For a fighting family, you'll see T'Challa's whole motley crew in Panthers or Cats.
Wow. Okay. Wowzers. Oh, come on, chat. I know you can't let this one go.
Just grab it. Grab this issue.
Yeah, Phantom said there should be receivers
grab
for
the
the
issue
Avengers.
by the binding. Grab that issue by the binding.
Yeah, grab it by the binding. Sneak peek for next week? Yep. Nope. There you go. Yeah, so yeah, that's kind of funny. I did it last time. It's kind of funny. We're getting a weird character here that might have been hired couple years ago during somebody else's administration. All right. Well, we made this issue fun. It got
We made
better.
it fun.
It got better at the end with some of the action, although some of it was kind of weird, like you said, with the barrels blowing up and T'Challa shooting a gun. I thought we would never see that, but it happened. Yeah, Josie and her band are going to be on next week. Yeah, it's right. His life. You said duty.
I did.
You did. Or, I did. JT, one of us said duty.
I did.
I read
did. I read the dialogue there.
Oh man. So yeah, I mean, I thought like the first half was kind of weak. The whole like the copter, they got a helicopter from nowhere. Just, a big jet copter. I don't have any idea where they found it, how they got to it. So I don't mind some of the audience license, right? But that's like a big gap because I didn't mention it because of the copter, but before it's like, well, where are they? Where are they going? Kirby's usually better with speech boxes to describe stuff like that. They're 1,000 miles away and now they have to hoof it to the next town or something. Or they find a camel or find a donkey or horses, something. Because the sub takes you all the way there, drops you off, you have no idea where, and then they just show up all the way back. Because remember, they had to take a flight to find that place in the first time where they fought the Yeti.
See, I didn't have that much of an issue with the helicopter after they had already gotten out of the submarine. I found this to be a fight that you get out of very stupidly that I don't buy for a second, only to get yourself into another fight, only to get out of that to go to another fight in the next issue.
Yeah.
There was no real development of anything. It was just fighting to fight to fight to go then fight. And it was kind of, I did not enjoy it. I just didn't enjoy it. The whole thing with the submarine, I haven't read ahead, but if they go after this water again, I predict that's exactly how they're going to come back. I think for trying to be so secretive, Shinzu's command should not have been taken that literally, and his guard are complete idiots, and they would have been found out long ago. Because this was poor OPSEC for them, and I think if we don't see them ever again, it's just because we don't care about immortality anymore.
Yeah, you would think that something that important in the whole world, they would be going back again sooner or later. Right.
So getting picked up, I don't think is that rough of an issue. But the whole rest of it was just boring fights, and I thought the art was okay.
It wasn't very good at all in the first part. I thought it got better toward the end. Some of the action scenes, with I started pointing out all those classic details that he's really good at, like the plant in the back. You got the henchman running up, and then you even had a farther henchman that's a shadow, but you can tell that's just an action. The like when the collectors jumped on him, that was I like that one. But all of these can't be 100% fantastic each month, every other month. You could have had a cold that day, right?
True.
You had the flu. You could have been sick.
True.
You could have been pissed off about something. Maybe you only had like 2 hours sleep. You just never know, right? And
it wasn't BSG 14, but it's definitely not his best.
Nothing is BSG 14. Well,
this is
stuff coming out now is, but
I think this is the weakest of the. Go ahead.
You guys have seen that little tidbit video I did with Fenrir about Savage Dragon 275, right? So, yeah, we won't talk about how bad crap has been coming out now. If
Mhm.
you want to see something to boil you, to get you really mad, go check that out.
And the other thing is the cover doesn't match at all of what's actually going on. I think you pointed that out at the beginning.
Yeah. Just a little blob of purple there at the bottom instead of having like him fighting or running away or it's just
But
it was hurried.
he doesn't meet any of the Panther cult in this episode or in this issue.
No.
Like this
no.
scene depicted didn't actually happen.
Yeah, he's not even home yet.
Right.
Yeah, so that's what I was saying. Wait till you see why.
We haven't seen this
covers.
guy actually transform into a purple blob yet either.
And yeah, well, at least until like he was running down all the way down the hallway or something, right?
The only
I
thing
guess.
that actually happened here is the drums. The two guys on the drums. That's it.
And maybe, just maybe, Mr. Little came around at the end where he defended T'Challa from the slap, saying, wait, he was telling the truth. And that he threw the vial of water and gave it to him at the end.
Yeah, that was probably the cutest
best part of the whole comic.
On that. I don't think it was brilliant. Like I said, I would have rather T'Challa been onto him in the sub.
Yeah,
Like,
that would have
as
been
soon as they
great.
get 5 seconds out, it's like, wait, you did all that knowing the whole time we were going to come out a little bit ahead.
Yeah, and then question in the chat is, does Mr. Little have big plans? He always has big plans. That's his thing. He's always got a remedy for every situation, although a couple of times that failed, but T'Challa saved his ass many, many times. So I'm thinking if we're going to not have him for a while, T'Challa, and I read it last year, but I don't know details. So we shall find out next week. Do you want to do a grade on this? I'm like,
I do. I mean,
okay.
It means very little to me to give it a grade. You know, those are easy for me to do most of the time. I think this is the weakest one so far. I give it a C- because I don't think it's Kirby's best work, either the story or the writing or, you know, but the writing, I mean the dialogue, sorry. The overall story, the art, it's all below what we've come to expect in this comic to date. So I'm not judging it by everything Kirby's ever done. I'm judging it by the standard that he set.
Well,
from
we
issue
tried
1
to
through to now.
judge it for the series that we're doing.
Yes.
Okay, we can always talk about other stuff, but I think you judge it based on only what we've come across. And
Correct.
we haven't read Jungle. Well, you've never read Jungle Action, which was not Kirby. So that's not fair. That's and we've seen that.
I'm not saying this is Kirby's worst issue of a comic he's ever written or anything hyperbolic like that either. I'm just saying out of the 6 that have come before this and this, we just went through the weakest one so far.
I agree.
And I'm not saying it's irredeemable either. I just think it's below average, and I hope we don't have a repeat of this caliber for the next issue.
Yeah, although you might see that and then a comeback, right? I agree with you. I hate saying C, but I don't think it's a B. The only thing I really liked was some of the artwork toward the end, the action scenes, just for that alone.
Yeah.
Some of the dialogue was classic.
You felt kinetic motion through that fight.
The sucker when he took the 2 out at one punch, and then the elbow smash, and even the shooting didn't make sense. The art, the details were there, the classic details. All the stuff in the background that you might not even notice.
For all the other mistakes in this, he does know how to animate a comic book fight scene very well,
especially if he's doing the blocks, the dialogue blocks, where he's really pushing it along, right, with the rhetoric. He knows he's really good. He did that. He didn't do that a little bit here. But I remember you saying, like, it seemed a little rushed or weak at the beginning. And I kind of agree with you. I hate to say it,
I wonder if there was a lot
trying
of
to be
edits
fair.
in this, and he had to rush to redo some of it.
Yeah. Yeah. And like I said, we don't know what's going on. You can't be perfect on all of these every time. And again, to repeat myself, we don't know how many other projects he was taking on here. I don't know at all.
Right.
Clobby would have known. Hungry Boy would know, I guess.
Probably at least
Mark
2 or 3 others at the same
Mark
time.
Would know. Yeah, you mean projects like other
Yes.
comics? Yeah.
Yes.
But other than that, I'll give it like a C+ or something. I mean, it wasn't the best one. It's not terrible. We've seen.
I usually
terrible.
grade a little bit harder than most other people too.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I kind of want to see if it goes worse. Next one, I don't think it will. I don't know. But I can't see it getting worse. And if it is, I think we'll be able to pinpoint different things better.
We'll know it's gotten worse if they have a henchman in there shouting, "Let's fry him."
Yeah,
it's BSG reference, folks.
BSG, fry him, and then do it again in another issue. Right. Oh, that wasn't issue 14. That was the issue that you and I both agreed that I might be getting old fuddy-duddy, but not necessarily because you agreed to it. You're not an old fuddy-duddy.
I hope not. Sometimes I feel like it, but
we both wholeheartedly agreed that I think that might have been 12 or 11. I can't remember, but that had some those kind of words in it, which were way, way, way worse. That character that JT just talked about was really bad in that comic. Like he was really bloodthirsty, torture-esque type of guy, right?
Right.
And he brought it up several times. And then there was a lot of sexual innuendo in there. And even for me, I was thinking, well, this is the BSG one would have been 1971 or something, right, JT? 7 or 77. That's late 70s. Sorry. These are early 70s, right? Those are late 70s. No. The BSG ones.
They were 79, 80, I thought.
Yeah.
This is 77, 78.
Yeah. And so
a
the
couple
BSG
years earlier.
That one was really was an adult. It was for adults. Because I remember asking JT at least this. It's like, JT, is this comic for a kid? I'm kind of losing track here. Is this?
Yeah, there were some. I don't want to make it like they weren't risque themes, but they were more.
Oh yes, they
themes for adults. Well, that one, but most of them were. I don't want to say adult themes because that has a connotation that I don't intend. I meant themes for more mature audiences, I guess.
Yeah, and it was just that particular one. It was just like way off the rails.
Yeah.
And not their normal flirtatious stuff. We know we got the hot redhead.
But you get that sometimes. I mean, there's even episodes of Star Trek that are like way, way more dark and just focused on things that adults would fear or obsess over or think about. And then after that, you get some like Wesley Crusher episode that's meant for 10-year-olds, basically.
Yeah.
So that can always vary. Here, I think it tonally kept the same of the other 6 episodes, or the other 6 issues, rather. It just was too much fighting.
It was
not
It was just weak in all the facets that you had talked about. Yeah.
And how far did the story really advance? I mean, really advance. We knew at the end of the last issue that they were trying to escape from Shinzu, and so they did that this time. And as far as they got was getting on the landing pad.
Well,
that's
the
that's
vibranium the vibranium history lesson, we didn't really need it to explain why vibranium can turn people into monsters, because Black Panther had already talked about it. The old elder guy talked about it.
That's a great point. The B plot moved a lot, but we don't really care about the B plot right now.
We got to meet the original head, the first Panther, and then they just moved right away from the guy. That was it. We got to meet him 1 quarter panel and then moved on. And I was like, oh my God, we just got an origin story for the history of Wakanda. We got to meet the number one dude, and he's gone.
Yeah.
They did,
Yeah.
it's like, hey, meet the first Black Panther. Poof, see ya. I was like, what? Okay, next. Right? So could have just skipped all of that and just said, yeah, vibranium jacks you up.
Yeah. Or has
Vibranium's not
unknown properties that can, cause issues. Or you didn't have to talk about it at all. And then just said, you fool, in issue 8, like, you fool, the reason the legends are there is because crap happens to you, and then have it without having that whole backstory. It just seemed oddly inserted here.
Yeah. All right. Well, JT, what do you have going on the rest of the week?
Sure. So, assuming I have the energy level for it, on Friday I'll be on Late Night Fortnite with Mark D with the C over on his channel, and then Saturday night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern, we will be going over the next episode of Star Trek Enterprise Season 2 on the great Admiral Teague's channel. So, once again, that's 9:30 Eastern. We are having a quickly growing community, and we're bringing a lot of people in that may not have really ever watched Enterprise for the first time, or maybe you've loved it all this time, or you thought it was okay back in the early 2000s, but now it's time to have another look at it. And I think the show ages really well. We had a lot of fun last week, and we do it watch party style as well, so you don't have to watch ahead of time to go. But I hope to see everybody there. Dave, you hop in on that too quite a bit. Well, both of those shows.
I
Friday and
try
Saturday.
to.
Yeah.
I try to, because I actually didn't watch all the Enterprises.
Mhm.
And I kind of wanted to go back, but I don't have them. And I have the TOS with the split screen version Blu-rays. I think I've shown you those, right?
Yeah.
I want to go back, and I have an idea that I'm going to run by you and Admiral about something. I don't want to say it. I think it's a good idea, so I'm going to keep it to myself.
Yeah, keep it under your hat. Yep.
But everybody, I link. Or I'm sorry. Is there anything else you got? Sunday
that
Sunday
should
night geekery?
be it. I'll be hanging out around the geekery. I don't know if I'll be on. I try to get to bed at a decent time going into Monday. You know how that is. So
yeah. Well, I posted for everybody here who's left. I think there's at least one. Thank you so much. I posted Dadman's. I think he has a squirrel stream. Go raid over there. Whoever's left. We went a little bit longer than normal, but we were trying to save this one.
We're right on time. We normally do about 2 hours.
Well, we're stretching it out longer now because we don't have the pressure of doing a second one. Hey, buddy, dude, you and Phantom, thank you as always. You, FKHC 2005. We love all of you guys being here, especially your comments and insights and helping us when we have brain farts and don't know what we're talking about sometimes.
Yes. Always appreciate it.
It's always awesome. And RRTNZ, Dadman as well. And I think I might be missing one person, but I can't think of it.
FKHC 2005?
Yeah, got him. Phantom, Buddy, Dadman, RRTNZ, my rugby buddy.
Classic Comics.
Classic Comics. I knew it. Thank you. Thank you. I knew I was forgetting somebody.
So you weren't forgetting. It's just you have to recount an entire list. So.
Yes. And Clobby used to try to write everybody down. Imagine trying to do that for like 300 people.
No, I can't do that. I don't write that fast.
They showed me a list where he was trying to do that. It's crazy. Yeah. So RIP to Clobby and everybody else. We miss everybody there. So I am doing, I think it's going to work again, is the Spawn Cosme watch party tomorrow night, which would be Thursday, 10 p.m. Eastern. But it's a Cosme. So you have to link and then watch it, and no kids allowed.
Right.
Not for kids. That's why I put it on Cosme too. Well, I'll get nuked if I put it on YouTube.
Right. Well, yeah.
But anyway, other than that, I might try to do the Friday night Fortnite, but I got to check those games. So I don't want to be sleeping during the finals weekend of the
Understood.
Six Rugby.
Understood.
So I might miss that. I might just pop in and say hello. Who knows? Maybe jump in.
Mhm.
Sunday Night Geekery, because I don't think I had plans on Monday. I was out of town last weekend, as everybody knows. Other than that, that's it. So
Cool.
there, it's Fancy. Thank you. YouTube says there's only 2 people watching, and normally, JT, we would count ourselves. But on the other laptop, I kind of know better.
That
than
number's
because there's
always
Buddy.
wrong.
It's
That
always
number's
wrong.
always
There's
wrong.
Yeah, there's Buddy.
Yeah.
There's Phantom. Who else was listening? But on that note, JT and I had to talk about a few things. So always appreciate it. You guys really do help us make the week because I don't stream a lot on my channel. Just throw out some goofy shit every now and then. But other than that, we will say goodnight. Take care.
Bye. All.